Okay, so thank you so much for making time. I know this is, I mean, we asked too much from you, so really appreciate that you make time. So my
No
first
problem.
question is, so there's been question moving around the club network members. So the first question revolves around Clubcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, Clubcoin is currently trading a below $1. So the
Mm-hmm.
question is, what are your plans to increase the profitability? Number one. Number two is, what are you planning to promoting with
Mm-hmm.
Clubcoin? Number three is, what's the use case of Clubcoin exactly? So a lot of people ask this one. I know you've elaborated this before, so it's
Mm-hmm.
probably like kind of asking you again. And at the moment, Clubcoin is currently ranking about 1,911. What do you have as a plan to bring it at least to top 100? So basically about four questions around Clubcoin.
Okay, so the whole plan with Clubcoin is number one, get it on a lot of exchanges. And it's really hard to get it on exchanges when you have your own blockchain. So we're changing it into an ERC20 token. I'm really hoping that we'll actually be able to start that whole process where everybody can start exchanging within the next 30 days, probably less than 30 days. And then we are kind of have a team, but really more setting up a team for marketing for Club Coin, like with blogs and just actual marketing. Like we've never had a marketing team for it. And once we're an ERC20 token, we'll be able to be on a lot of exchanges because it's very simple for exchanges because ERC20s, they're all the exact same. So if you have one, you could have 1,000 of them. So that way there'll be a lot more liquidity because we'll be all over the place. And then the most important thing is launching CoinPay because it ties in with CoinPay. So our whole idea from the beginning with CoinPay is have a marketplace where the businesses that sign up for CoinPay will be listed on this worldwide marketplace. They'll be able to advertise to BitClub Network members, and the whole premise of them being able to advertise and get new business is give people a discount to have them come try your business. Give them a discount if they use Clubcoin. And of course, it's mainly our members that own Clubcoin. So now if somebody can save 10% to go get whatever, to go get dinner or go to the nail salon or go to the dry cleaners, if they can save 10 or 20%, it makes sense for them to go and buy Clubcoin to use the Clubcoin to pay so they get that discount. 100% cryptocurrencies, the prices are based on supply and demand. So if we create a demand, price goes up. I don't know that any other like group that has, you know, a group of people that are always going to the same place because all of our members are always logging into their back office. I don't know that there's any other cryptocurrency that would have as many people following a cryptocurrency and what's going on with it that we would have following ours when that whole thing gets launched. So, I mean, what would be top 100? The goal would be to be top 5 or top 10, but I mean, we've been as high as number 5 in the past. Like when we first launched it, and like we literally gave it away for free. Like we didn't sell any club coin. We gave it free to everybody, and they could go sell it if they wanted to. And BitClub actually put in huge buy walls where BitClub would buy it back at 5 cents, and BitClub ended up buying back none of it at 5 cents. Like it never went at 5 cents. It always was higher than 5 cents forever, and it's been as high as $6. But I mean, Bitcoin went up, everything went up. Bitcoin came down, everything came down. So it's just the nature of where the market's at right now.
How soon do you think it will be open, the operation in Montana?
I
When
told you it's already
it's already
running.
running? Oh, okay, wow.
There's like between 600 and 700 petahash running there right now.
Okay, okay,
It's 75 megawatts up and running.
okay.
We're expanding another 50
Right.
on that facility, and then we're starting to build another facility that's 300 megawatts. It
Amazing.
is running right now.
When are you planning to retire? I mean, when you plan to retire, when do you plan to retire, and what kind of things would you be doing when you retire?
Well, I mean, I really like scuba diving. I really like playing golf. I like playing pool. Um, I like going sightseeing. I like doing lots of stuff. I like, I hate packing, but I love being in different places. And I'm kind of like, because I travel so much building BitClub, everywhere I go now, I always miss somewhere else. So it's like, I really want to go there, and then I get there, and then I'm there for a couple days, and it's like, man, I miss being over here. Like, oh, I miss the food there. Like, so I love traveling, even though I've been doing it so much for the past like 4.5 years, almost 5 years. But like, when do I plan on retiring? I feel so responsible for all of my friends, because I mean, BitClub is basically made up of my friends. And it's like, I have to keep doing what I'm doing, even though I would rather be doing a lot of other things. And I don't need money. I don't need to make any more money. I mean, I haven't been paid from BitClub in a year and a half, and probably won't ever be paid again.
Wow.
Like, I don't make money from BitClub anymore. Zero. Like a year and a half ago, I was like, I got enough money. I don't ever need to be paid again.
Wow. This is mostly for the network marketers. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people have been disappointed before. A company owner changes the plan, and this happened, that happened. And quite a lot of people say, like, will BitClub compensation plan ever change? And I always say, if it changed anything in BitClub, it will be for the best. So,
Like, if you look at every network marketing company, the way comp plans are laid out, we set ours up to be very similar, but a lot of the rules that other companies have, we actually didn't enforce the rules, where we should have been enforcing the rules, and we didn't enforce the rules, and then we ended up paying out way too much. And the company had to eat it. Like, I can't go back and be like, hey, sorry, I paid you too much, give me the money back. Can't do that in network marketing.
well, we did felt like you paid us too much. We just never reported it. What would you tell someone that is just new and want to grow, obviously, whatever they need to do?
When we started, if you try to talk to somebody about Bitcoin, they had never heard of it. Like 95% of BitClub members had never heard the word Bitcoin before they heard about BitClub Network. Where now you have 50, 60, 70% of people have heard the word Bitcoin, so now they know it's something real already when you start to talk to them, but they still have no idea what it really is. And so for me, what I think created my success and what I've seen with other people is that from the beginning, we worked every day to educate ourselves and educate others. And if you're thinking, oh, I just need to figure out how this mining works and how do we make, and let me do my graph and my spreadsheet, get out, just go away. This is the wrong thing for you. We have so many people, hundreds and hundreds of people that joined BitClub in the very beginning, did all their spreadsheets and went, I'm never gonna break even. I'm never gonna break even, never gonna break even. I can't do this. They don't log in for 3-4 years. Come back later. Hey, is that Bitcoin thing still going? Yeah, it's still going. Okay, figure out how to get logged into their back office and see they got 40, 50, 60, 80, $100,000 sitting in their back office from one founder position that they bought, and they went, how's this possible? Because Bitcoin's different. This is not a normal spreadsheet of 1 + 1 = 2 = 4. It doesn't work like that. And when people go, okay, well, explain it to me. I can't explain it to you in 1 hour. This takes time.
Is there any plan of having additional products apart from the one that we have? And also,
Of course.
what's the experience of BC Premier? What's the user case so far?
Okay, so BC Premier actually came from, like, I know some of you guys have seen the gold cards that we have.
Yes.
So that's a company that's really more like a concierge service. And they're actually really, really amazing. Oh, here's actually one of the cards right here. So, see, it's literally solid gold with diamonds on it and completely customizable, but it's actually very expensive, but it's attached to a concierge service that does so many different things for us. But that service is $5,000 a year. And a whole lot more than that to sign up for the service and get the card. So BC Premier is the exact same company. The service is basically the same service, but instead of having just single one-on-one contact with a certain individual, you're using an app, but they have people 24 hours a day that are servicing everybody and will help you with anything you need, but you don't have just the one-on-one individual attention. We haven't launched it to everybody yet because when the Mega Monsters and Monsters, some of them were buying it and using the service, on their side, that app is not where it needs to be. So we're like, look, this is what the level of service we're looking for this to be at before we launch it to all of our members. So those guys are building it up. Now, if you got the gold card and the $5,000 a year service, perfect.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background, who you were growing up?
I'm a high school dropout. I was an electrician right out of high school. Did that for a few years. Literally, I'm a construction worker. My mom was a single mom, had no money growing up. We had a little Volkswagen Beetle, I remember. She used to drive us to school in, and it was old, and I could see the road through the floorboards in the car going. So I don't know how my mom did it. She was a single mom with two kids, two boys that were just crazy. And when I was doing electrical work, I was just like, there has to be something better than this. There has to be something better. And I would go to be working in an office, doing whatever, and everybody's dressed up nicely, and I'd be like, hey, how much money do you guys make here? I want to get a job. I don't want to do construction anymore. How much do you guys make? And they're like, you make more than we do. And I'm like, what? We make $12 an hour. And I'm like, I make more money than you do. And so I was like, okay, that's not it. Even though they're dressed up, they're not making more money than I was as a 20-year-old electrician. And so then this one computer place, they were like, oh, starting in the computer field is like $40,000 a year. I was like, what? I got to do that. And I started asking a lot of questions, but it seemed really complicated. You got to have college degrees. And it's like, and this is when computers were brand new. Nobody had computers back then. And then a girlfriend of mine's best friend's husband was doing door-to-door sales. And at the time, I was probably making $600-700 a week being an electrician, 20, 21, 22, whatever. Yeah, probably like that, 21, 22. And then I talked to this guy. Well, first she said, this guy makes $2,000 to $4,000 a week. And I was like, what? I will do anything to make money like that. And so I talked to this guy, and he's like, all right, come down to this office. They'll give you an interview. Now, you got to understand, I took off my lunch break to go to this office to meet these people. So I'm going in there with a tank top, jeans, work boots, filthy. And I'm like, yeah, man, I heard this door-to-door sales thing, And so they give me a script, and they're like, look, learn this word for word, come back on this day at this time, at nighttime. I was like, all right, no problem. And I talked to the guy, and he's like, look, man, get a voice recorder and record yourself doing this. And listen to yourself. You want to use good voice inflection. And he did the script for me. And this guy was an amazing sales guy. And he's doing the pitch for me. And I listened to how he'd do it. And then I'd do it. And I listened to myself. I went back on the day they told me to go back. And they had us just read it. And then everybody read it. And they said, okay, now do it without looking, pointing at, the card. And I do it. And then next guy, he stumbles through it. The next guy, I lean over the guy and I'm like, didn't they tell you to learn this? And he's like, oh, I was busy. And I was like, oh, he's not taking this serious. Like I knew we could make $2,000 to $4,000 a week. And I was taking this serious. And they ended up telling the guy that told me about it that I knew it better than anybody on the first day, but I was serious. So then they give me a list of the objections. Like, this is what people are going to say, and here's your rebuttals. From going from the restaurant to going to start knocking on doors, I learned almost all of them. But I got in with guys, and then they were like, read this book, read this book, read this book. And I start reading the different sales books. I start listening to the Zig Ziglar tapes. The company actually did a trip. We went to Anthony Robbins seminar. I was literally front row center. I don't know how this happened, but I had a couple guys that were actually, pretty decent networkers. And I had found out about a deal somehow. I don't know how. Told them about it. And they were like, we're going to sign up in your downline. I was like, what? And all of a sudden, I'm making crazy money, like compared to what I'm used to. And I think I made like 20 or 30,000 in a month, something like that. I did nothing different for the past 4 or 5 years that I did my previous 20 years. I worked just as hard, put in just as many hours, did webinars, did conference calls. I mean, before BitClub, I had a stretch of probably 10 years where almost 7 days a week, I did conference calls every single day. I would do Saturday training calls, and I would stay until every question was answered, even if it was 3 or 4 or 5 hours. I was serious about the business. I treated it as if I invested $1 million into building a whatever, and I had to make that business successful because I had all my money dumped into it. I treated every network marketing company that I joined the exact same way. Even though I didn't have to invest $1 million, I acted as if I did. That's how I became successful. I didn't take it as all right, maybe I'll make, a couple phone calls this week to try and get somebody to get on a webinar. I was calling, 40, 50, 100 people a day, like every day. I would call out of phone books if I didn't have anybody to call. Like I was relentless. And I didn't do anything different now. It was Bitcoin that did this. So the success that we've had in BitClub and the amount of people that have become successful, it's not because all of a sudden I got a PhD and was so much smarter. It was Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin's an exciting technology. I mean, I was on a plane one time and I was explaining what is Bitcoin to a lady that was sitting next to me. I didn't tell her anything about myself. I don't even think she knew my name. I didn't tell her where I was from. I didn't tell her anything, nothing. I was just explaining Bitcoin. At the end of the conversation, we're getting ready to get off the plane, she said I was the most interesting person she had ever met. She knew nothing about me. So she was basically saying Bitcoin was the most interesting thing she had ever heard about, but she said it was me, but it wasn't me. It was Bitcoin. And if somebody ever told me, like, we started, and I was doing webinars all the time also, I'm used to webinars being 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. And I was doing webinars that were an hour and a half and 2 hours. If somebody would have said to me, watch a 2-hour webinar, I'd been like, you're crazy. I'm never watching a 2-hour webinar. But I was telling everybody, watch the webinar. I'm not going to answer any questions until you've watched this webinar. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what? Asking people to watch 2 hours is too much. So I would tell them, look, just watch the first 10 minutes. Just watch 10 minutes. That's it. Because I knew once they started learning a little bit about Bitcoin and they got that hook in them where it's like, oh my God, this is different. What am I going to learn next? What am I going to learn next? What am I going to learn next? And what ended up happening was people would call me back and I'd say, did you watch the webinar? And they're like, I watched it twice. And I'm like, I thought you didn't have time for a 2-hour webinar. They're like, dude, this is huge. And I'm like, I told you, man, like, this is different. So I know everybody wants to be like, oh, it's Russ. I can't take credit for this. Like, this is way bigger than me. Like, the richest, smartest people in the world aren't investing in Russ. They're investing in the Bitcoin technology. And so I just tried to follow that trend of what those really rich, smart people were doing. And sharing with people why I got excited about it. And then they get excited also, probably because we have something in common. So that's why it's just weird. Like, I'm not this special guy. I'm just a normal guy that found something special and wouldn't shut up about it, sharing it with other people. And I did not worry about making money. Like, really, in the first year, we made no money. Like, nothing. Like, everything went back into it. I mean, we made nothing. We weren't worried about making money. We knew eventually it would happen. Like, this technology is just what happens. And then, like, when the price of Bitcoin started spiking, just everything took off. And nobody expected this little stupid Bitcoin deal to do $200 million a month in sales for multiple months in a row. You know, so there's no way I said, all right, I got a plan where we're going to get BitClub Network to go to $1 billion in sales. Never! I never thought we would do $1 billion in sales. Never, 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 never. So, yeah, again, just one day at a time, do the next right thing, keep learning, keep educating.
Thank you so much. And anything that you want to say before we close? Anything that I didn't ask that you wish you have said?
Well, there's so many different things, but we'd be here for hours. So, I mean, just the main thing is, I mean, look, we've been doing this a long time, and the cryptocurrency space keeps getting better and better and better. It's just funny that we worked so hard for so long when Bitcoin was $200, $250, $240, $260, $300, and everybody would always ask us in meetings, Bitcoin was at 1,200, now it's at 200, what's wrong? We're like, well, nothing's wrong. I mean, this is, and I showed the trends. And so it's so funny that now Bitcoin went to 20,000, now it's back down at 4,000. Everybody's just like, oh, Bitcoin's just falling apart. And I just think it's so funny because basically all the guys that are millionaires in BitClub Network, not all, some people join later, but all of the people that joined BitClub and worked hard when it was 200 and stayed focused and just collected the Bitcoin and shared the message and educated and educated and educated, all of those guys are millionaires. All of them. You don't have anybody that joined when Bitcoin was 200, worked hard, and they didn't make any money. Like, it just doesn't exist. And so we're at that next valley, and the next jump, I don't know if it's going to come in a year or a year and a half or 2 years, but that next jump, if we go to 80,000 or 100,000, let's say we go to 100,000, that means Bitcoin right now is at 4% of 100,000. That means right now, if you were to cycle 10 times in a day right now, and you got, what would that be, $2,000? That would be 25 times. So that would be $50,000 that you made in a day if you don't sell that Bitcoin. So that's like, I was showing people like 3 purchases like years ago, and it would be like 4 cents. And I'm like, wait, don't look at 4 cents on a repurchase. It's this much Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's 10,000, that is now $3.90. You're banking huge money for the future here. And so when people are like, oh, but I could just buy the Bitcoin, make the money somewhere else. Yeah, you could. So why have I had so many people come to me literally crying, going, Russ, I'd be a millionaire if I would have listened to you? Because they didn't do that. So just all the stuff we educate people with, they can go and verify on their own. Literally nobody has to believe you and me. They don't have to believe a word we say. They can go learn it on their own. Nothing I say, you'll never hear me say, trust me. Like all the stuff we teach people about Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, you can learn all this on your own. You don't need us. In fact, in the amount of time that we have to educate people, there's this much information, we have time to give you that much information. We're just trying to give you the information that'll get you excited, where you'll get on the path to learn this information on your own. And again, I've never tried to sell anything. I've never asked anybody to please sign up, please buy a founder position, please get this. I've never done that. I've said, watch the webinar. Webinar is 100% education. And at the end of it, they call me, Russ, give me your link. How do I sign up? I got to get in. I got to get in. I got 10 people already watching the webinar. Like, just focus on the education. The money will come faster than you'll ever believe.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So, well, I think we've come to the end of it. Last question. Are you a multimillionaire, a billionaire, or what do I say? You want to tell us?
Officially, I have no money. No money. Okay. I'm doing okay. And when people, I do have people ask me, this is real. They say, Russ, how much money do you make? I don't really know. I haven't really counted it. I probably know more about how my friends are doing more than I even do. I'm just trying to help everybody else. I have not focused on how much money I have. I'm not worried about it. The only important money is your last money. So I got nothing to worry about there. I'm worried about other people making money. If you worry about other people making money, you'll make plenty. Wow. So I could not tell you, like, I don't know exactly, but I'm okay. But I have hundreds of friends that are millionaires.
All right.
Hundreds.
Right.
Not many people have hundreds of friends that are millionaires. Right. I do. Yeah. So if anything's ever wrong, I got plenty of people I can call.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. We respect you. You are everything to us.
And I miss you all in Africa so much. I'm so happy Hannah came to see me.